What will we do with this moment? How will we be remembered? Look at the opportunities before us.
This election really isn't about the left versus the right. It's about we the people choosing our government and the choice between freedom versus tyranny.
Nobody has a chronic disease burden like we have. Why are we allowing this to happen to our children? Ultimately, the only thing that will save our country is if we choose to love our kids more than we hate each other.
What is going on here is deeper than politics. It is deeply spiritual. We are being called to rise above the hatred and the fear and the evil.
We need to remember above and beyond that we must love our neighbors, that we must treat other people as we hope to be treated.
You want to be a rebel? You want to be a hippie? You want to stick it to the man? Show up on your college campus and try calling yourself a conservative.
America is going to reach heights that it has never seen before. The future is going to be amazing!
You want healthy children. Don't you want a president that's going to make America healthy again?
Come to you today as a former Democrat. I will be a first-time Trump voter tonight.
The people dreamed this country, and it's the people who are making America great again.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
Coming down, we've been out here since 5 o'clock, and all you see is just raining hellfire.
When did you get the notification for an evacuation?
We never did. Over here, never got the evacuation notice. Even when we got here, it was not there.
And have you seen any fire crews here? I see an engine company down there.
Yeah, we see them going up and down the street, but not helping us.
Right. Well, there simply aren't enough around. Listen, your name is?
James.
Last name is?
Day.
D-A-Y?
D-A-Y.
Good luck to you, James. Thank you. So there you have it. I mean, this is hand-to-hand combat, quite frankly. This isn't to put any kind of blame anywhere, because there are so many fires and intersections like this. There's another explosion. Goodness knows what that was.
This home right behind me, it's still, parts of it have flames still burning here. It's been going all morning long. He's been here for 60 years, raised his kids in his house. I mean, what are you feeling when you see your house like this down?
What you say?
How do you feel looking at this morning?
I'm going to break down again. That's what I feel. Shit, it's my whole life.
Everything was in there.
You so lost everything. You shape up. You're supposed to be a support. Anyway, I'm okay. I'll be okay. I'm tough and we'll start. Even though I'm 91 years old, I'll start over again.
Okay, Dale. And what is your message to your neighbors that are going to be coming back just like you?
I would say that whatever happens
to their property. We're just glad that they're safe and they've survived this along with us.
And thank you for all the personnel that are here that are fighting the fire. It's just amazing, and thank you to all of them and to you.
I know.
We're spreading the news, even though it's bad.
Meanwhile,
do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say?
So in case you don't know, this is the ultimate DEI hire. This is the mayor of Los Angeles. Her name is Karen Bass. Her name should be spread far and wide. While California, specifically Los Angeles, was burning, she's out on a jauntlet over in Africa. And it took her, basically a day to get back. And this local television station somehow knew what plane she'd be on and even what jetway to meet her. And you would think the leader of a town, the mayor of Los Angeles, 12 or 13 hour flight, understood what was happening in her hometown, would have something to say, would have some prepared statement. You understand you're going to be standing in front of many people in dire straits, many people in pain, many people who look up to you, many people who have paid exorbitant taxes. The media who's going to want some answers. And what you're going to see over the course of the next 2.5 minutes is the utter, and I do mean utter, failure of both local and federal government that'll make your stomach turn. Watch as this woman, the mayor, has absolutely nothing to say.
Today? Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position? Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster? No apology for them? Do you think you should have been visiting Ghana while this was unfolding back home?
They can't get her out of there fast enough. The door in that jetway was locked, and she had no way to escape. She had no way to run away. And all she could do was just shut up. Why? More than likely because she hasn't been told what to say. Somebody hasn't rammed their elbow up her behind and, told her what she needs to be saying right now. I've never seen incompetence displayed at a level like this. I've never seen DEI exposed the way she just exposed it. I'm not making dramatic emphasis on this. Understand, you are an elected official, You used to be in Congress. You decided, hey, I'm going to go be the mayor of one of the biggest cities in the country. You're internationally sitting over there at some president of black mayors or whatever it was. And you come back here on a 13 or 14 hour flight, knowing your city is burning down, and you have nothing to say. Think about it. I could have written a script. You could have written a script. You could have had role playing. Okay, so Karen, Miss Mayor, when they ask you this, here's what you say. Here's what you say. Nothing? You got old men, you got people whose houses are burning down. They got nothing left, and you're hiding? I know many of you, well, maybe I shouldn't say that, but I do know many people have the mindset of saying these people in California deserve what they got. And I just want to stop that thought before any of that comes out in the chat. Nobody, left or right, deserves to have their entire life destroyed by a fire or a hurricane or a tornado. Nobody deserves that. You deserve the leadership, and now you should be looking at that leadership with clear eyes and going, oh shit, what did we do? And those of you who are in California who didn't vote for this crap, once you get your lives back together, for however long that's going to take, you need to be screaming bloody murder. You now see this woman wasn't elected. This woman was selected. She was put there. The entirety of this situation is exposing a whole bunch of things. Unfortunately for her, my voice is sounding a little bit better because I got some rest. Thank you very much for putting up with me not doing the 3 o'clock show so I can do this. You cannot forgive this. Yesterday when I was talking about Facebook and I was like, hey, you have an opportunity to voice your concern, to voice your displeasure, to let the world know there's a better way. Well, guess what? You just got presented with a big, giant, heaping pile of opportunity. There are going to be a ton of Democrats, a ton of liberals out there in California going, oh no, well, oh no, what happened here? What do you mean the caribou and the owl and the spotted turtle, we had to make sure they would be okay so we don't have any flipping water? The firefighters are standing around with their fingers up their butt. There's no water. You didn't clean out the underbrush. You didn't do anything that normally would protect the people who live there. And you all went and clapped along, the crazy lefties, the liberal, the nuts. But now you realize, and you're going to realize for quite some time, that there's a great deal of pain associated with what these people want to do with America. After I saw what happened up in Appalachia and Asheville and everything, and I'm like, $700? $700 and that's all you want to give people? What do you think is going to happen in California? You see, between now and the 20th, who knows what Biden's going to do? And I got some stuff to tell you about what he's doing. These people aren't going to get any money from FEMA. And a $700 check is not going to replace a $20 million mansion in Malibu. Oh, Barry, they got money. It's okay. Don't worry about it. No, it's still going to sting. Some of those people made that money and they're not making movies anymore. There's a whole lot of retired actors and actresses out there who made some serious bank who probably can't spend $20 or $30 million on a house anymore. And they don't have any insurance. I even saw people on X talking about that. Oh, they got insurance to pay for it. California screwed that too. I heard over and over from people, well, we had insurance, but guess what? The insurance companies were, hey, there's a huge risk here. Why? Because you ain't got any freaking water. If stuff decides to burn, you can't put the fire out. I can't insure that. So we're canceling all your policies. And you knew that going into an election. You knew that you didn't have any water. You knew that the forestry wasn't being maintained. You knew the insurance companies bailed. And you still voted Democrat? You still voted for Kamala, knowing that there was no help coming? And now the entirety of the Pacific Coast, not the entirety because it goes a long ways, but a big part of California, Southern California, is now on fire. 0% contained as of like an hour ago. And meanwhile, you got this. It amazes me how these people
Madam Mayor, let me ask you just
can talk so much crap on MSNBC and CNN and blah, 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 blah. It's all fake. When they have to talk for themselves and there's no hand up their butt, they run. You see me on the street. I went to get a haircut and a shave today. The guy recognized me. We talk. I didn't know if he was MAGA. All I know is he wanted to talk. We talked. And then I found out he wasn't MAGA. And the questions he was asking me was exactly what I had said to you guys yesterday. Here's a guy who didn't like Trump, but realizes, hey, you know, I get paid on tips. Can you explain to me what this no tax on tips thing means? And I looked up at him, and I'm like, this guy's got a blade to my face. I got to be careful. I mean, I don't want to piss him off. And I'm telling him, what do you pay? What do you declare? Blah, blah, blah. Now imagine you're not having to do that, and you get to keep all that. And nobody had told him what the ramifications were. Remember, these people aren't accountants. They don't have the ability to discern all this information. And as I'm talking to him, I'm looking around, and the rest of the shop stopped working. And I'm like, uh-oh, something's wrong here. Am I saying the wrong thing? And a dude over there goes, keep talking. You know, when you go, I don't know where you go, but down here in Boca, it can cost, even for a black guy, it can cost you 50, 60, 70 bucks to get a haircut and a shave. Then, of course, you got to give the tip. And these guys may go through X, Y, or Z heads per day. They're making good bank. And then, of course, if it's a woman, like where Robin goes, they're making bigger bank. And so now there's an opportunity to open the door for me. And I'm sitting there, and I got my eyes closed while he's doing his thing, and I open my eyes, and I'm like, I got an audience. These people are standing around. Oh, keep going. What do you mean we can do this and do that? That's your opportunity. And so now you got the entire state of California, possibly Oregon, Washington State, where you need to be talking to people because, as you can see, the people in charge ain't talking.
Have you anything to say to the citizens today as you return?
No. They're gonna hold on 1 second.
Madam Mayor, just a few words for the citizens today as you return to deal with the catastrophe.
Can you take this down?
David, as you say, she wasn't very keen to answer any of your questions there. And fire chiefs are also admitting that they just don't have enough personnel to take out the fires.
Yeah, they're fighting all sorts of challenges. They're talking about a water shortage. There are reports of fire hydrant failures. They've been unable to use firefighting aircraft for much of the day due to the smoke that is billowing ominously from the hills where the wildfires are raging. And I suppose despite that political storm, this is, of course, at its heart, a human story because we've now 80,000 people evacuated. Tens of thousands of others are on standby to be evacuated. 2 lives have been lost in the Eaton fire, which is what's causing the consequence behind us. The city's iconic landscape almost shrouded completely by the smoke. And they're really just taking it one step at a time, hoping at some stage the wind's going to change direction or to die down, and that they're going to be able to get this fire under control.
A few moments later.
The good news is I'm a great grandfather because of today. I was granddaughter. Thank you.
Yeah, he actually did that. It was the worst press conference I think I've ever seen. So you have your local state leaders and your federal leaders completely oblivious. And they trot Joe out there. Oh, the good side of this. Good side? Yeah, I'm a great grandfather. Who cares? I don't have a house. My horses got burned up. I've been here 60 years. It's gone. And you're telling people you're a great grandfather. That's the good side of this. No, Joe, there is no good side of this. It only gets worse. You don't even know how bad it is yet because you can't get to some of the areas. It looked like a war zone. At one point I saw a video with the bulldozer having to bulldoze luxury cars off a cliff so that the fire engines can get through and do nothing because they had no water. You have the water that's on the tanker, and that's about it. You can't even put a hose and siphon it from the ocean. You just sit there and watch it burn. But the good news is, I just had a great-granddaughter. Oh, that's so great. Man, if there were people there, they might have walked up and punched him in the face. I cannot believe Gavin Newsom is standing there. He must have felt so embarrassed because nobody knew what this guy was going to say. He came out with his cue cards and mumbled whatever he mumbled. He had no clue. And then, of course, immediately thereafter, just like Karen Bass, shuffled off, not a single question. You watched President Trump yesterday talk for almost 2 hours. Bring it. What you got? Yup. Next. You. And he wasn't even looking to solve or comfort people who were going through a tragedy. He was talking about what he's going to be doing as president. And so the current president, who's out there having to deal with the tragedy, along with the governor, along with the mayor, and none of them took any questions. This is all about you. You as MAGA right now. I'm telling you, boy, you got some opportunity right now. There are a lot of hurting people. I remember when the hurricane happened up in Asheville area, and we all reached out to Samaritan's Purse, and we talked to them, and we got them out here, and people came together and helped. It's going to take people again. And I know there's going to be a lot of alligator arms, because people are going to feel like the T-Rex with little arms because it's multi-million-dollar liberal area. Like, I ain't helping these fools. We're compelled to. Even if help means reach out to these people on Facebook. Reach out to some of these people on Twitter. They're in such a bad way. They're in such a bad way that they're having to fight off the others who are trying to eat them. And what I mean by that is, you got people who are liberals saying, oh, too bad, eat the rich. Hey man, I just lost my house, and I was on your side. I don't care. Yeah, you're rich. Yeah, you can deal with it. Literally, other lefties are laughing at these people. And I'm thinking, how devoid of soul must you have or be to look at someone who's supposedly on your team, even though we're all on the same team, but, political team, and to say, oh, so what? So what? You got money. You little stupid communist. Whatever it is that you have in your little corner of the world, and if somebody were to take it from you, or it would just burn up, wouldn't you want some compassion? And now you as MAGA have the ability to be that compassion, because I don't think many liberals understand compassion. I don't think they understand reaching out and saying, hey, what are you going through? Can I send you a blanket, a sleeping bag? Can I send you something? Because I'm telling you, I'm going to show you something with James Woods. James Woods, Hollywood actor, probably worth millions. And he's got nothing right now. Nothing. Imagine going from, having millions, big, beautiful house, to sitting there and looking at dirt. Actually, smoldering dirt. No food, no clothes, nothing. Well, Barry, they can go to the bank and... You think it's that simple? You can't buy your life back. Yeah, I can go if I can find a store, if I can get transportation, but I can't buy compassion. And that's where the door is opening for you, is that there's going to be a ton of people who just need to know, hey man, I understand. Sorry what you went through. You're an American. We're here for you. We understand you may not need much financially. We know you may have money in the banks and stuff in Switzerland and residuals. But what you don't have is somebody saying, it's okay, God loves you. What do you think that will do to people? Hey man, ain't you a Trump fan? Yeah. But I'm an American. And I know what you're going through, man. I understand. And I bless you. And I know you don't need any money from me. But I know what I have you cannot buy. Think about that for a second. That is going to shock some people if you just reach out and say, hey, you doing okay? How you doing mentally? You going to be all right? Need me to pray with you? Need me to contact anybody? Because I know you probably don't have the ability to do much. Should I watch one of your movies tonight? Will that help you with the residuals? Imagine it saying that icebreaker. You know what? Let me go ahead and download one of your songs on Apple or Spotify, just to let you know I care about you. What do you think that would do to a liberal right now who's being laughed at by other liberals? Just saying. Lisa T says, sending prayers to California. This is so unbelievably sad. It is. The chats are going way too fast, and I'm interested in what others have to say. All right, hold on a second. Let me go ahead and see if I can put this on slow mode so you guys can see some of this stuff. And all right, so slow mode is now on so more people can read the chats. Thank you for saying that. Barry, as an American, I think we should all try to help other Americans. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is to me is a key. And I'm probably sure you weren't thinking about this when you tuned in today. You're probably like, oh, Barry's going to cover the fire and we're going to talk about this thing. And you didn't realize Barry was going to talk about a dovetail off of yesterday and go, look, this is the biggest state in the country, one of the largest economies in the world, and they're toast. And you just saw their government. The mayor ran away. The president said, hey, I could go to grand trial. It's a good side. Put yourself in that position. And the mayor who you want some answers from, and the DEI fire chief who made it her, if I help these guys don't get pissed off at me, who made it her priority to bring as many women and alternative lifestyle people into the ranks as possible. Didn't really care whether they could fight fires. Yeah. We need to help each other in moments of crisis or need. Absolutely. This is terrible. Praying for California. Yeah, be that person. Be that person. California is financially bankrupt. However, Texas can hold its own. Somebody just wrote, it went so fast. Here it is. I don't like my neighbor, but I would help him any way I could. Exactly. I mentioned my neighbor before and how we had to stop saying who we were voting for. But when we went to North Carolina, she watched our mail and she come to the mailbox. She loves the dogs, and we just but we care for her. She had surgery, and you can tell people aren't used to people reaching out to them. You know, when did I talk to JJ last? We have to do another prayer meeting. And it was so funny because he had made a comment about Christians in DEI. Is that, no, CEO. CEO Christians. CEO Christians are Christmas and Easter only. And I started laughing. I'm like, yeah, so many people don't realize what you can do the other 363 days of the year. And right now, it doesn't cost anything for you to do it. These people are on X. They're talking. Here, let me show you something. This was interesting. She's a huge liberal. She hates Trump. And I wanted to show you this. Let me bring it up. All right, so this is, as you know who she is. This is Maria Shriver's account. And this is, I don't even know who Dr. Elizabeth Krim is. No one in LA is okay. Even if we don't have to evacuate These are our cherished communities that make up the whole of us, full of friends, their homes, valued spaces and places. And she's talking to people. Someone just asked, this was the one that got me. Someone just asked me, are you safe and okay? Well, I'm safely evacuated, no power, so I can't go home, but okay? I wouldn't say that. I don't know that anyone affected by these fires is okay. No one who lost their home is okay. Not those who evacuated, not those in hotels or at neighbors. People may be physically safe, but they are not okay. And then she's showing a video driving. She's a Kennedy. Maria Shriver is part of the Kennedy clan. She was married to Arnold Schwarzenegger. Big money. Money ain't helping you when your houses look like that. No, you're, as they said in the movie Pulp Fiction, I'm a long way away from okay. But you got money, you're doing it. This emotion is too much. I can't take this. Everything is gone. My friends, they're gone. And, you know, it's funny what I had just said earlier about people not realizing the opportunity. This is not realizing the opportunity. Instead of saying, God bless you, hope you're going to be okay, we don't agree politically, blah, blah, blah. You get somebody like this that goes, neither were the people in North Carolina or the people in Florida, we who live for weeks without power, unlimited lines for food and water. Y'all have the money. You won't suffer like regular people. That's the wrong answer. That's the wrong answer. You're going to get flamed. She's probably going to block you. Don't want to hear nothing from you. And you're reinforcing what they think MAGA is. And I'm not sure this woman's MAGA, but I'm saying you're reinforcing you people suck. You have no compassion. You're blah, blah, blah. Instead, you could have just said, I empathize with what you're going through. I'm a woman too. I'm a mom as well. I bless you. I hope you can return to whatever normal is. And that's all you have to say. She's going to see your bio if she wants to click on it and see you're a Trump supporter. But instead, people are saying stupid stuff like that. And you don't have to be that kind of person. That's what I'm trying to say. We're going to win. If we're going to win, we're going to win by making sure we broaden this tent, as I said yesterday. And how do you broaden the tent? You start talking to the people on the other side, the lost people. There's a whole lot of lost people in California. Hey, Perry, I like your shirt. Thank you very much. Yeah, this is terrible. It's time to pray. Yep, definitely time to pray. Love this. Now is the time for Republicans to be an example to the liberals. Yep, that's what I'm saying. And what I'm going to show you in the next couple minutes here is going to be it's going to underscore what you just said. So now you set the stage. It's burning down. The mayor's got nothing to say. Nothing to say. The governor, nothing to say. The president, hey, I got a great grandchild today. And that's the good side of things. As soon as I come back, I'm going to show you even more stuff that's going to make you understand what's going on. As you know, President Trump has assembled the Avengers to make America great again. And of course, we're all excited and ready to see them get to work. But with everything we're seeing right now, don't take your eye off the ball. Things could get much worse before they get better. With the possibility of World War III still looming, and with the Democrats doing everything they can to impede Trump, you still need to keep your guard up and your money protected. Oh, and our national debt is still massively increasing. Don't get me wrong, I have high hopes for Trump's America, but I also have a family to look out for. You see, Trump and the Avengers have quite the uphill battle ahead. That's why I'm making sure I'm protected, and I'm recommending that you do the same. One way to be protected is by diversifying your portfolio. That's why on this channel I've been happy to partner with Lear Capital. As you know, I've been involved in real estate for quite some time. And although I dabbled in gold and silver, Kevin and his staff at Lear have helped to educate me even further, especially in regards to silver. Give Lear a call today and they'll show you how easy it is to move some of your savings or your retirement account into gold and silver. Gold and silver have been proven to hold value and protect wealth for the long term. Call Lear today at 800-601-5430 or go to learberry.com to get your free gold and silver wealth protection guides. There's no obligation, just free information. Many of you have seen my interviews with Lear founder Kevin Demerit, and I can tell you this company is solid and likes to educate their customers. Just so you know, Lear has over 27 years of experience, thousands of 5-star reviews, and over $3 billion in trusted transactions, and is the only company with a 24-hour risk-free purchase. You don't pay unless you're 100% satisfied. So call 800-601-5430 or go to learberry.com. And when you call, don't forget to ask how you can get up to $15,000 in bonus gold or silver with a qualifying purchase. So if you'd like to take advantage of this opportunity, please call my friends at Lear Capital at 800-601-5430 and tell them Barry sent you. Easy. Just nuts.
One of the board members for the LA County Supervisors and said, you know, how does this happen? And she said, look, we need to do changes. And we're in the midst of already talking about a different water plan for LA County. And this obviously needs to be part of what they do differently going forward. Let's go now to Haley.
Former LA mayoral candidate and real estate developer Rick Caruso.
So this piece here illustrates how brain dead even the media in California is. So he's going to be talking to, I think his name is Nick Caruso, who Karen Bass beat. Just understand what I just said. The guy that Karen Bass beat in the election is talking to the news. Karen Bass, the mayor, couldn't bother to, don't ask me no questions. But so this guy comes out, and he was on Fox earlier, he's on local news, he's all over the place talking about what's going on. But the media tries to embarrass him. They try to say that he's basically giving out misinformation. Yeah, that doesn't work too well.
So, criticizing the city's response to the windstorm and fires. He says officials should have been more prepared.
The real issue to me is twofold. We've had decades to go remove the brush in these hills that spreads so quickly. And the second is, you got to have water. And my understanding is the reservoir was not refilled in time and in a timely manner to keep the hydrants going. So that's a failure, whether on DWP's part or another city agency. But this is basic stuff. This isn't high science here. And it's all about leadership and management that we're seeing a failure of. And all of these residents are paying the ultimate price for that.
Despite what you have heard from Caruso, no firefighters have told us that they are running out of water.
Okay, so he goes, no, despite what he said, no firefighters have told us that this is the case. So, he's lying. Let's cut to Karen out in the street here.
And let's go out to Gigi Graciette. She is live in Pacific Palisades. I know your signal's not the best, but Gigi, what can you tell us?
Well, firefighters have told me they have no water on this block, and you may be able to make out the ember storm that we're in the middle of.
Wait, what? I thought the guy in the studio just said it's debunked. That's how bad this media is. Pieces of crap.
Right now, this house going to be a total loss. They have no water to put on this fire. They are standing by because they're trying to save the home that is next to it.
On the hill, we finally got into the Sunset congestion. It's 9 miles to Beverly.
So some of you guys know who this is. This is James Woods. Actor, been around for a long time, probably got multi-millions. And I want you to, if many of you have probably seen it, but I want you to look at how he's affected by this and how it broke him. Just watch this.
Hills. It takes us usually about 25 minutes. It took 2.5 hours. And you have to understand, somebody didn't charge their car their electric car, didn't put gas in their gasoline car, and now they're on Sunset. Oh, I got to abandon my car, and now the fire trucks can't get through, and now people can't walk. When we couldn't get our garage door open because the wind was blocking, because our door goes up like this, I said, oh my God, we're up in the hills here. We got to walk out? I can't walk. I'm 77 years old, man. I can't walk up these hills. It's like Mount Everest here. It's like, pretty steep. So, it's just, I posted this on X, but Sarah was on with her 8-year-old niece last night. And she came out. I'm sorry. Just, one day you're swimming in the pool and the next day it's all gone. But she came out with her little Yeti piggy bank for us to rebuild our house.
Oh my gosh, James Woods, I
has grown to
hope that you will be able to rebuild your house, maybe starting with that little Yeti piggy bank. And we're just glad that you're okay and your wife is okay.
I'm sorry,
have your lives. Yeah, no, I mean, this is real and it's raw.
I thought
and
I would be stronger than this.
You don't need, you are, you know what? It's strength is not measured by whether, you hold in crying or not. Strength is what you are doing now and helping your neighbors and shining a light on the great, amazing work of all those firefighters and emergency crews out there. You have so much strength, and we appreciate you coming on to reflect what so many others just like you are experiencing in that raw emotion right now. We wish you the best, you and your wife, as you rebuild your lives. So many people are doing that right now and trying to process what's going on. So, James, and also keep us posted on your 94-year-old neighbor and everything going there. We're going to continue to talk.
You don't think you can reach out to people? Looking at a Hollywood actor, career actor, many films. Just watched one the other night with Robin, the movie Contact with Jody Reed. Great movie. And this guy's probably seen it all, maybe done it all, and is a big patriot, big Trump supporter. And he was broken, completely broken. And all you would need to do is reach out to him on X. Now, see, he's different. He's already in the fold. He already understands what we're going through. And you should understand what he's going through at this point. It's simply amazing. And I just want to keep reiterating, because I want you to understand and grasp the power you have in your fingertips right now. And how you can talk to people. Because they're hurting. I mean, there are people hurting. People you wouldn't imagine. Hey, that's James Woods. I've seen you in so many movies. You got millions, bro. You're doing well. Sapphire, go ahead and rebuild. You're crushed. I can tell you right now, even with insurance, the stuff that we have in our house here, yeah, you can replace a phone, you can replace a computer, some lights, a microphone. That's not the stuff that gets you. Number one, you wake up and the next day, and I know this because I've spent so many times with people who were involved with hurricanes, it's like you just try to get, okay, what do I do next? I don't even know what's next. There's no book. It says, oh, go to the bank, do this, do that. There's nothing there. And so just letting people know, hey man, is there anything I can do to help you? Yeah, people are hurting. Hey Toy, how are you? Money doesn't have a soul. And that's exactly it. My heart goes out to him and his wife. I've lived through a house fire. It's devastating. and that may be just one house fire. Can you imagine if your entire neighborhood is gone? Everybody that you know? I'm working on something here just in case. I heard that Trump may be coming on and speaking. So if he comes on, I just want to make sure I have the ability to switch over. This is awful. And he's on CNN, which in itself is interesting. But you just need to talk. And I don't want it to belabor the point here. But I just want people to know the power that you have and what you can control. So a lot of people are like, well, how did this even happen? How? That's going to happen. People are making all kinds of suggestions and wondering, was it drones? Was it DEW? DEW, directed energy weapon. Some people thought that's what happened in Hawaii. We don't know. We're ways away from finding out what exactly happened. But in the interim, people are now looking, well, the stuff that you could control, why didn't you control? So I want you to listen to this. This is Adam Carolla, comedian who lives out in California.
Geez, I want to talk about my white privilege so badly. I graduated North Hollywood High with a 1.7 GPA. I could not find a job. I walked to a fire station in North Hollywood. I was 19. I was living in the garage of my family home. My mom was on welfare and food stamps. And I said, can I get a job as a fireman? And they said, no, because you're not black, Hispanic, or a woman. We'll see in about 7 years. And I went to a construction site and dug ditches and picked up garbage for the next 7 years. I got a letter in the mail sent to my father's house saying, your time has come to do the written exam for the LA Fire Department. I took it, and I was standing in line, and I had a young woman of color standing behind me in line, and I said, just out of curiosity, when did you sign up to become a fireman? Because I did it, or a person, 7 years ago, and she said, Wednesday.
If there's no better punctuation as to how this DEI crap is horrible, terrible for America, you're seeing it play out right now. When I heard that story this morning, I'm like, please tell me Adam's a comedian. Please tell me he's joking. Please tell me they didn't say, hey, well, I understand, but you got to go back over that line. We'll see you in 7 years. Why? Because you're white. What? But I'm strong, I'm young, I'm ready to run up and down stairs and save people. Those aren't the qualifications anymore, Mr. Carolla. Mr. Carolla, the first qualification is, are you gay? Are you black? Are you this or that? And if you don't have these things first, you're going to have to go stand in line. I thought this was about saving lives. I thought this was about saving property. When people hit that 911, they want to know whoever responds to that 911 are the most professional, fit, capable people you can possibly find in my area. And what you're telling America is when you dial 911 in certain areas, you're not going to get the most capable people. You're going to get people that we think should be in this job ahead of the most capable people. And that's exactly what they did in Los Angeles. Don't believe me? Look it up. They prioritized DEI. And today, people are in trouble. Because it's easy to give people paychecks and then tell they have to flip and perform. And if they can't perform, you're found out. It only takes that one time when you're, especially in you're a first responder, to find out that, hey man, this person isn't good. They can't do the job. Same thing in the police. You think that when you hit 911 on this thing, hey, I need some help, send the best. Send the best of the best. And you're not getting that in certain areas. That is something that people in liberal areas need to know. Did you know you're not getting the best response? Are you okay with that? You understand everything's fine until it's not. And then when it's not fine and you need help, who do you want answering that call? DEI is as I said in mob movies, it is an infamia. It is an insult to the intelligence and well-being of Americans. I hope you guys don't have a problem with that, but it's true. If you've ever gone and seen firefighters train and how they got to walk up or run up the stairs of this building with smoke and holding all this gear and dragging hoses and it's a hard work. And you're saying that's not exactly what we want right now. Well, what do you mean? Well, that's not that important. It is to the people who dial 911.
That is an example of my white privilege.
They said, we have no water. I said, do you have a drought? No, we don't have a drought. I said, why do you have no water? Because the water isn't allowed to flow down. It's got a natural flow from Canada all the way up north of water, more water than they could ever use. And in order to protect a tiny little fish, the water...
Hey, everybody, just want you to know, I've got Fox on, and I'm not sure what Fox you have on, but I've got Fox on, and Laura Ingraham is talking. And it's the right time. It's 7:52. Hey, I can show you. That's what's on right now. So I'm not sure what Fox that you may be watching, but Trump is not on Fox. So I don't know if that's a troll thing and people try to get you off your game, but I'm looking right now. Let me see. He is on right now. So he's a little bit behind. Let's do this.
The most, by far, he lost 38,000 people. They gave it to him for $1, and then they charge more for our ships. It's not going to happen. And China's running the Panama Canal. That's not going to happen either.
Mr. President, on California, Mr. President, during the pandemic, you often said that you didn't believe that you should bail out blue states that you believe were being mismanaged. Given your criticism of Governor Gavin Newsom, are you willing to work with him, and do you believe that federal aid should be provided to California for as long as it takes?
Well, it's very sad because I've been trying to get Gavin Newsom to allow water to come. You'd have tremendous water up there. They send it out to the Pacific because they're trying to protect a tiny little fish, which is in other areas, by the way, called a smelt. And for the sake of a smelt, they have no water. They had no water in the fire hydrants today in Los Angeles. It was a terrible thing. And we're going to get that done. It's going to finally be done. I got it done from the federal side, and he didn't want to sign it, but it's not going to happen again like that. There's no reason. Can you imagine? You have farmers that don't have any water in California. They have plenty of water. They don't have a drought. They send it out to the Pacific, and it's crazy. So what's happening in California is a true tragedy. I know those areas very well. I have many friends living in those houses. That is a true tragedy. Nobody ever thought. I mean, virtually Beverly Hills and areas around Beverly Hills are being decimated. The biggest homes, some of the most valuable homes in the world are just destroyed. I don't even know. You know, you talk about a tax base. If those people leave, you're going to lose half your tax base of California. This is a true tragedy, and it's a mistake of the governor, and you could say the administration. They don't have any water. They didn't have water in the fire hydrants. They don't have water. And yet they have, the water comes from, you know where? Up north. And it comes down at levels, they give millions and millions of barrels of gallons of water that they have, and they send it out into the Pacific. For the Pacific, it's like a drop, it's nothing. But for California, it would take care of the whole state. So what's happened is a tragedy, and the governor has not done a good job. With that being said, I got along well with him when he was governor. We worked together very well, and we would work together. I guess it looks like we're going to be the one having to rebuild it. But what happened there, I don't think there's anything that I've ever seen quite like it. And the insurance companies are going to have a big problem, because you're talking about big, big dollars.
Mr. Cheney, Biden pardon Liz Cheney. What's your message for President Biden? He said he
I have no, I thought it was ridiculous that he did that, but we have more important things to talk about. Liz Cheney was, she lost in the Republican Party, as you know, in her state, by the biggest margin in the history of a politician running for Congress. She lost by like 42 points. Nobody's ever lost like that. So I don't care about Liz Cheney. I care about these people.
What is day one going to look like for the Trump administration?
Number one, we're closing the border. It's going to be closed very strongly. It's going to be closed. And we're going to have to take people out that are criminals. We have people from jails from all over the world and from mental institutions. And as you know, they're going to have to be removed. And it's one of the reasons I won the election in a landslide. The people of this country don't want murderers walking down their farms or their streets or their cities. As you know, we had thousands of people that murdered other people that were in jail that were released into our country. Many of those people murdered more than one person, many of them, about 42% supposedly. We want them out of our country, and we're going to get a country back again, and we're going to be really governed by common sense. These are the principles of common sense. We're not going to be governed by stupid people. We're going to common sense. We're going to be respected all over the world again very soon.
Well, President Trump chiming in on not just the California wildfires, but Liz Cheney, the Medal of Freedom recipient, most recent with George Soros, and of course others over the last few days, a week or so. Tim Sheehy continues with us, of course, new senator from the great state of Montana.
All right, so we were able to catch him. I guess between the internet and the connections, it's like a 30-second delay. I don't know, whatever it is, but we got it. We got the entirety of what he said, which is really interesting because that's just where I was getting to. He had a number of things to say about California and the water supply over the last, during the campaign. So let's get back to that.
Up north, gets routed into the Pacific Ocean. Millions and millions of gallons of water gets poured. I could have water for all of that land, water for your forests. Your forests are dry as a bone.
Yeah.
Okay?
Dangerous.
That water could be routed. You could have everything. Oh, not only dangerous, billions of dollars a year they spend on forest fires. And, there's a case with the environment. They're not allowed to rake their forests because you're not allowed to touch it. And all they have to do is clean their forest, meaning rake it up, get rid of the leaves, get rid of, leaves that are sitting there for 5 years. And
we'll certainly get rid of the deadfall.
And get rid of the trees that have fallen.
Yeah.
That, are like. And
so Trump's talking about this stuff, and some of this stuff that was on Joe Rogan. The next piece you're going to see, many of you who've been watching my channel, I showed all the rallies and speeches. He gave a speech outside near his golf course or resort. I think it's in San Francisco, but he's talking about it again. And he's been telling people in California, you got a problem. You got a problem. So he continues.
You have so much water, and all those fields that are right now barren, the farmers would have all the water they needed. And you could revert water up into the hills where you have all the dead forests, where the forests are so brittle. Because no place is like California. I go to Austria. The head of Austria tells me, we have trees that are much more flammable than what you have in California. We never have forest fires because they maintain their forests. And you have all that water that could be used as water, what they call water flow, where where the land would be damp. And you'd stop many of these horrible fires that are costing billions and billions of dollars by the federal government, etc. So one thing I'm going to do for California, vote for me, California. I'm going to give you safety. I'm going to give you a great border. And I'm going to give you more water than almost anybody has. And the farmers up north are going to be able to use 100% of their land, not 1% of their land.
The campaign trail.
All right, so before they get into that. So Trump's been telling California, hey, you got a problem. He's ringing the bell. You got a problem out here. Nobody's taking care of it. Do something. Nobody wanted to listen. And then yesterday, he does this 2-hour press conference, just like you just saw that impromptu conference coming out into the Senate. And he just takes questions. You, and you. You would think the media, whose job it is to gather information, would love the fact that you now have a president coming in who actually can talk and answer your questions. But no, not CNN.
I think it was in October of 2024, Donald Trump was saying that if he got reelected, that he could withhold federal funds from California. Obviously, he has a sort of a feud with Gavin Newsom, a feud with almost every Democrat governor and senator and Democrat in general. And I think the question going forward is, Could that happen? Is this something he's going to actually do when he assumes office? Because he does kind of see the federal government and the budget and the monies as his own, as to dole out as he wishes to his friends. And so I think that's the real question going forward. But it is sort of...
So Trump sees the budget as his own to dole out to his friends. Wasn't it just yesterday they were worried about Mark Zuckerberg not doing fact-checking? Didn't they just yesterday, a whole bunch of them scream and complain, oh my God, he's not doing fact-checking anymore. And the very next day, they put people on television who completely make shit up. He gives money to his friends. And nobody calls him on it. Again, this is a guy who's going out there and talking and making news. By the way, I mentioned this to you yesterday. And I said, he brings up the Panama Canal. He brings up Greenland. He brings up Canada. And he brings up all this stuff. And the Gulf of America. And I knew it when I said it. I'm like, the media can't contain themselves. And Trump oftentimes will just put stuff out there because it makes you discuss it, which in essence makes you promote it. Nobody was talking about the Gulf of America 36 hours ago. Now everybody's talking about the Gulf of America. Nobody was talking about him buying Greenland a couple weeks ago. Now everybody's talking about him buying Greenland. Nobody was talking about him possibly using military force to take over Canada and Greenland. Now they're all talking about it. All he's got to do in that bully pulpit is walk up and go, blah, 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 blah. And he knows at that point, it's going to disseminate. It's going to go everywhere. I mentioned something yesterday about good press and bad press. And I want to show this to you. I found it after we talked. And if you haven't seen or read Art of the Deal, I want you to, well, if you want to go ahead and basically buy that book. It's probably cheap because it's so old. And I said to you, I said, Trump has said in the past, I don't care what kind of press it is. It can be good press. It can be bad press. Just talk about me. This is something he has done for decades. And I wanted to show this to you because in case you've never seen it, it's pretty, well, it's not pretty. It's exactly what I said to you. This is a quote from the book, The Art of the Deal. Good publicity is preferable to bad, but from a bottom line perspective, bad publicity is sometimes better than no publicity at all. Controversy, in short, sells. Donald Trump, The Art of the Deal. And The Art of the Deal was a long, long time ago. And he still understands I command the media because people want to hear what I have to say. And even if they have to make stuff up, they're still going to promote my ideas. And so understand this segue that I'm going to do, which is probably going to be kind of weird to you, is that's the same for you. Yeah, when I say go out and start talking to people and promoting things and saying it, say it, do it, start talking to people. I'm going to do a little, not a Q&A, but I want to answer somebody that posted something in our private Twitter group today because I think it might help some of you on X. And, despite what you may think of Elon Musk at this point, X has taken over media. These people here at YouTube, they got something to worry about. Like I said, if he ends up merging with Rumble, there's going to be, oh boy. The newspapers can't touch him. The broadcast networks can't touch him. How do you know this, Barry? Do you know that Sean Hannity's now doing a podcast? You're seeing what Stephen A. Smith is doing. Stephen A. Smith's on ESPN. Why has he got his fingers in all these different piles? Talking to Chris Cuomo, starting to talk to Sean Hannity. You can do this. They can't do it on their own. So enough with that. We're going to get back to that. But understand, publicity is publicity. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It's people are talking. And he understands that. So CNN decides they're going to go out there and basically, even though Trump was proven right about the water situation, they still want to, trash it.
Sad that this is the same president we're getting again, that there are no lessons learned. There's no sense that Californians are Americans, right? That they are struggling in these areas. 2 people have lost their lives, or these fires haven't been contained at all. It looks like they're probably going to get worse before they get better, and that he doesn't have any sort of empathy and understanding about, over what these folks are going through. People have families there. Not only, you might have families still there. I have family there and friends as well. So it's just sad and still shocking.
Literally, as you're speaking, what we're looking at are live pictures of neighborhoods in LA County burning. I mean, the roof there is literally on fire.
How do you say the man has no empathy when that same man that you says has no empathy is the guy who was telling Joe Rogan and doing a press conference saying, hey, we need to fix your water. I'm going to make it so that you have more water to do with whatever you want. You're not going to have to farm and be restricted to 1 acre or 1%. I'm going to let you prosper and have all the water you need. And then CNN turns around and says, well, doesn't this guy realize anything? No, you don't realize. People can see you're lying. I played those clips back to back. Talking to Rogan, forestry, water. Speech, water, forestry. CNN, oh, he doesn't care about Californians. That's why they're not going to win. That was a perfect example for you to see why I keep saying these people may not win again for quite some time. Why? Because they're liars. And the only way they exist is to lie because they have to deflect. They don't want the population to know. Trump's been talking about this for quite some time. He's been sounding the bell, the alarm. Ding-a-ding, ding, ding, ding. Hey, you got a problem. You got a problem. Oh, Trump doesn't care. What? What? How do you get there? How do you get there after just watching the man say it? Unless, of course, you're just paid to lie, which may be the case. What do I got to come up next here? Oh, I've got to read this from Kids Guide for Huckabee. Hold on 1 second. Pay some bills here. Here we go. I have to take a minute to stop and address parents with something very important. As President Trump prepares for his second term, he said he wants to teach our kids to love our country, reversing radical anti-American rhetoric that our kids are hearing in classrooms across the country. The best place for kids to start is to learn all about President Trump and his vision to make America great again during his second term. That's why Mike Huckabee's team put together the Kids Guide to President Trump Victory Edition. And to celebrate President Trump's return to the White House, they're giving it away for free. This book is great because it features fun illustrations and content teaching kids all about President Trump's accomplishments and his goals for the second term. Mike Huckabee wants to send your family this free guide so you can teach your kids the truth about President Trump and his mission to make America great again. But please hurry because supplies are limited. You can claim your free Kids Guide to President Trump Victory Edition for your kids right now and see offer details and order your free guide at kidstrumpguide.com. That's kidstrumpguide.com, or you can just go ahead and take a snapshot of the QR code on your screen. I understand some people have basically gone through the process and got that guide. Thank you very much. And they select you. There's a bunch of follow-up screens. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to, purchase anything unless you want to. But that guide is 100% free. All right, so let's continue with some comments here. They hate that President Trump is compassionate and competent. Yep. I bought The Art of the Deal on eBay. Yep, it's probably, you got it for $1.99. Absolutely. A lot of the anchor women and men going to be looking for new jobs soon. You're right about that. You are absolutely right about that. All right, so that's what's been going on with the fires. Now, did I have anything else? Let's move into a couple of other things. Oh, before I go there, this one. there are some really scummy liberals, as you know, and none more than probably this woman I'm going to show you. This woman here decided she was going to write a tweet and say, James Woods' house is burning down. It's karma calling. Well, I don't know if her her page is still up. We can check. But this woman happens to be a teacher at the University of, what school here? Missouri, a professor. Let's look and see if she has by now taken down her feed. If not, if she hasn't taken down her feed, perhaps you guys could give her, a piece of your mind here. Oh no, it's still up. And yeah, she's still there. So maybe you should just go ahead and give her a little bit of information as to why you think she should probably be. I don't like to have people banned too often, but this is horrible. To say something like that James Woods' house burning down is karma. Josh Hawley, who is the senator for Missouri, people are tagging him, saying, this woman's getting paid by the state. Something should happen. And then, of course, Eric Schmidt is the attorney general for the state of Missouri. So either way, people should be talking about, especially state employees that decide to talk like that. Yeah, it's free speech. You can say it, but we don't got to pay you. I don't live in Missouri, so I can't really pitch a fit. If you live in Missouri, you should let her know. So all this is happening. You got the backdrop of people burning in California, and you got Stuttering Joe going out there. Meanwhile, this. Charlie Kirk. On a day where Americans in Los Angeles are watching their homes, pets, and businesses burn and could use some aid, the Biden administration is preparing to send yet another $500 million over there. As Charlie says, this is why they lost. That's exactly why they lost. They don't care about us. They don't even care about their own voters. These are liberals out there hurting, for the most part. And hey, we got to get the money out to Ukraine. Here's from Bloomberg. Biden to announce a final $500 million package in aid to Ukraine. It makes you want to throw up. We know you hate MAGA. We know you hate patriots. But you're basically going to pee on your own people, the people that voted for you, the people that voted for Newsom. You're letting your disdain for the American people show that much that on the day that their houses are burning down, you want to give $500 million to Ukraine. That's a special kind of FU he's given to the American people. So let me continue with this other news that I want to do. I've got 3 stories I wanted, so don't keep you all here all night. In case you haven't heard this, and I'm going to give a little asterisk on this one. I don't smoke. I've never smoked. I don't like to go into buildings where there's a lot of smoke. Thankfully, there's not. But if you want to smoke, it's up to you. But Biden is now trying to ban smoking. The other day I heard, it was today, where people were trying to say, Trump's talking about Greenland, that's not going to really help people. Why is he worried about Greenland and the Panama Canal when he should be looking at this? Why is Biden giving away money to Ukraine and worrying about smoking?
First, the sabotage is nonstop, the pettiness nonstop from the Biden White House. Most recently, Biden's FDA is now moving forward with a rule that would ban cigarettes in favor of products with lower nicotine levels. Experts warning this ban would be nothing but a gift to organized crime cartels because it would boost business on the black market. Here with more, Congressman Ronnie Jackson.
Okay, before he goes, let me just explain that a little bit. Well, Barry, how would banning cigarettes cause the black market to be problematic? Because people aren't going to stop smoking. You see, you're banning the legal sale of cigarettes. Do you really think banning the legal sale of something stops people from doing it? Obviously not. People have been smoking pot and doing other stuff for quite some time. And they've just been doing it over and over. So basically you are allowing the black market, the street sales, to increase. Which means potential violence, potential higher crime. People are not going to stop smoking. They're just not going to do it because you tell them they can't buy it. I mean, if you want to stop smoking, you go through the steps and you stop smoking on your own. But if you're a smoker and you want to continue smoking, just because the government's not selling it doesn't mean you're not going to buy it. So in essence, what he's going to be doing, once again, is padding the pockets of the illicit underbelly of society. The dude's on the corner. The guy's clocking. Hey man, I got those menthol right here for you, bro. Yeah, how many you want? Because you're not going to stop. It's not going to stop it. Who's benefiting by you taking it and putting it onto the street? Oh, the cartels, maybe China. This isn't good for America, and it's not needed. Remember Prohibition? Well, you probably not. I'm not even old enough to remember. But what happened? The mob took it over. And it became very profitable for them. And so what you're going to be doing is just shifting the money where you can actually tax on it to illicit means. Like I said, I don't smoke. It's not going to affect me one iota, except for maybe the crime. You have to watch out where you park because there might be some guys over here selling some cigarettes. Crazy.
Along with Fox News contributor Joe Concha, Dr. Jackson, Congressman. Okay, smoking, not a good idea. Probably drinking. I guess it would be best if people didn't have a drink, which I might have after the show. I have not decided yet. But with all that said, do we really want the government to tell us?
No, absolutely not, Sean. You know, this is a choice that people are free to make. I mean, this just is another tone-deaf, ill-informed move by the Biden administration. I'm not going to endorse smoking, obviously. I'm a physician. Smoking, you know, leads to heart disease. It leads to lung cancer. But look, that's a personal choice that we're allowed to make here in this country. It's a legal product. You know, it makes no medical sense either, by the way, Sean. If you decrease the amount of nicotine in a given cigarette, people are just going to smoke more cigarettes. And it's not the nicotine in the cigarettes that causes cancer. It's the tar and all the other carcinogens in there. So, you know, people don't want the Biden administration doing this. They don't want the Biden administration banning cigarettes, just like they tried to ban gas stoves. They want them banning illegals crossing our southern border. They want them banning more money sent to Ukraine. They want...
Yeah, how about banning the stuff we don't want? The stuff that's affecting most of America. I'm not sure what he's thinking. Well, yeah, we are sure. He just wants to screw people over. Over and over and over again. It's not going to stop smoking. So if you know what you're doing is not going to have the intended effect, then maybe what we're thinking is the intended effect isn't really what you want. Maybe you want to drive this much. Think about it. How much tax revenue do local, state, and federal governments make off of cigarettes? So why would you all of a sudden not want that revenue? It makes no sense.
With them banning the weaponization of government, there's a lot of stuff that this particular government, the Biden administration, could have been and should have been doing for the last 4 years, yet they go after these petty issues like this just to try to control every aspect of our life.
The Biden administration is not reversing its decision to distribute crack pipes to crack addicts, nor are they slowing the flow of fentanyl across the borders coming from China through Mexico. No, they have a new drug war. Yesterday, the FDA announced it's planning to remove virtually all nicotine from cigarettes. Now, nicotine is not the thing that gives you cancer. Nicotine is the thing, it's addictive, but it also increases mental acuity. But they're taking that out. Now, what happens when you get off nicotine? Well, your testosterone levels plummet and you gain weight, both of which the administration is for because you become more passive and easier to control.
Just gotta dig a little bit deeper. Just figure out what it is. So, in essence, what you're trying to do, and that was something Tucker said a long time ago, back when he was still with Fox. So what you're trying to do is depopulate the country. And I found that part, and I'm thinking, oh my God, no one's talking about that. No one's talking about the drop in testosterone that is caused by the withdrawal of the nicotine. So if men are in such a problem where over a course of time their testosterone is going to drop, the men smokers, then wow, we just basically put in a form of birth control with people thinking we're trying to help them with their health matters. I'm like, man, this is some nefarious Dr. Evil crap. I didn't know that. Did you know that? I looked around today and I'm like, Tucker said this years ago? This was what the plan was? Basically to make guys not able to do what they need to do? Especially young guys? Probably the prevalence of smokers? Younger men? I didn't know withdrawals and lack of nicotine once you became a smoker would drop your testosterone level. So you want to drop their testosterone and make them fat. No, I never smoked. Mine's from blueberry muffins. But think about that. With everything we've seen over the last couple years with the, stick the thing in your arm and do this and do that and wear the face diaper, now I can't put anything past these people. I'm like, are you serious? Is this what they want to do? They want to cause these young men to have soft Peter? Is that where we're going? These people, what do we got? 12 days. And they're trying everything here at the last minute. They never thought they were going to lose. They never thought people would realize that Joe was, had mush for brains. And now it's like we have all this stuff on our plate that we wanted to do. Let's hurry up and usher it. Let's get all the money out of the country we possibly can. Let's make sure they can't drill for oil. And oh yeah, let's make sure the young men can't do what they need to do. Yikes. Leftists are totally insane. Yeah, they are. Feminized males is what they want. It's crazy. Yes, why do you think the border is open to replace us? Crazy. Never thought of it that way. Crazy. To Biden's offshore account as well. Population. Yeah, I understood the whole idea of population control, but I didn't know about the lack of testosterone. Tobacco is still the best crop for farmers in USA. Globalists hate farmers. Yeah, coming from Connecticut, shade tobacco is grown throughout Connecticut. It's not the same as like down in Tobacco Road in North Carolina, but shade tobacco is used to be, when I was growing up, huge in Connecticut. Call the doctors. I want you to quit smoking so that they can prescribe you. They're taking the money away from, take away the money from farmers. 12 days, baby. 12 days. I smoked for 23 years, quit for 10, then smoked again for about 10. I can take it or leave it. Been off the smoke. Yep. Well, I've never smoked. And people are talking about fluoride as well. All right. So let me move into the last section here. And this is basically, oh no, I still got more to go. Wait a second.
We are waiting for the U.S. Supreme Court to maybe take up the Donald Trump's legal case to try and defy Judge Merchan from sentencing him in 48 hours.
Okay, so just so you know, the appeal was denied by the appellate court in New York. So Trump has now decided to go to the Supreme Court and get them to rule on this to stop Jack Smith and all the crap that they're doing. It's crazy.
So the Trump team's looking for a stay on that order. They might get it. We'll see whether or not that happens. So stand by. More coming up on that momentarily.
All right, Eric Shawn is actually reporting live on that. Let's get him to give us an update. Hi, Eric.
Yeah, Dana, Bill is right. It is now up to the Supreme Court to decide the next step in terms of President Trump's sentencing. His lawyers filed an emergency motion to the High Court this morning to stop that sentencing that is set for 48 hours from now on Friday. The bid first.
Okay, so there's two things going on. The Jack Smith stuff, which isn't part of what the Supreme Court's going to be doing. The Jack Smith stuff is his case got thrown out. There is no case. But they still want to try and get all the information out into the public. Dude, he's already been elected. What do you hope? Oh, that's right. You need the media to say bad things about him. Good luck with that. And so now Judge Merchan, he's hoping the Supreme Court will step in and stop sentencing, which is due on the 10th, Friday at 9:30. So there's a whole lot of moving pieces. I'm having to stay glued to TV and see if at any moment the Supreme Court could come down with this thing. I understand that Justice Sotomayor has demanded a response from the other side by 10 o'clock tomorrow. So the Supreme Court is moving on it. So we'll see what ends up happening.
To Judge Sonia Sotomayor, because she handles the jurisdiction of New York, she can then refer it to the full court to decide if Trump's lawyers are correct. They've been arguing that Trump's sentencing on his 34 felony counts of paying off Stormy Daniels, well, it should not go forward Friday because the High Court has already given the presidents wide immunity for official acts. They claim, quote, the New York trial court lacks authority to impose sentence and judgment on President Trump or conduct any further criminal proceedings against him. And Trump spokesman Stephen Chung tells us this, quote, the Supreme Court's historic decision on immunity, the Constitution, and established legal precedent mandate that this meritless hoax be immediately dismissed. But Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg is countering that Trump's actions were before he was president and were not part of his official duties. The sentencing was allowed to proceed yesterday by New York State Appellate Court. One judge, Judge Ellen Gessmer, ruling that Trump's argument over presidential immunity, she said, lacked any merit. Gessmer, who gave the sentencing the green light, questioned Trump attorney Todd Blanche's argument about presidential immunity, asking him, quote, do you have any support for a notion that presidential immunity extends to presidents-elect? But Blanche then responded, there has never been a case like this before. He said, so no. Well, Sotomayor gave prosecutors until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning to respond. That is basically 24 hours before the sentencing is supposed to begin. Judge Merchan has already, though, indicated that he will impose on Mr. Trump a conditional discharge. That means he will face no sanctions, such as a fine and no jail time. Dana, back to you.
All right, Eric Shawn, we will.
All right, so just that should tell you that this is a dog and pony show. He's not going to put him in jail. Everybody can breathe easy. He's not going to jail. This is solely a PR move. This is solely for them to be able to say that Trump is a convicted felon, even though nobody cares. Nobody. He's already been elected, certified, gets inaugurated in 12 days, and you're still trying. You're doing everything you possibly can just to be able to label this man a convicted felon. Even though the country overwhelmingly voted knowing all this stuff was hanging over his head. It's futility at its best. It means absolutely nothing, and you've already told the public, well, I'm not going to put him in jail. Then what the hell are you doing this for? Name one other reason why you would be doing this if it weren't just to give the press the ability to call this guy a convicted felon over and over and over. That, and for the history books to label him a convicted felon. No other reason. None whatsoever. It's absolutely disgusting.
This is a traumatic thing, right? And then people say, don't politicize it. And I say, I understand that. Those people who love America, I love them, and I truly feel for them, okay? The writers and the Hollywood people who live in the Palisades and have profited off of the corruption in California, it's 70-30 Democrat. So they didn't want to recall Newsom. They voted for Kamala Harris. My God, imagine if they had gotten their way. They supported Karen Bass, the Kennedy family, city council members in Santa Monica. They did this, and we're just supposed to pretend like they didn't. And we're just supposed to say, oh, I don't want to bring up the fact that this is a Democrat supermajority. Let's just kumbaya and pretend like they didn't do it, didn't vote for it. They did. So I don't want to see people like Marie Shriver showing her face, saying anything. I want to see people saying, what are you talking about? You voted for that. And they go, well, we didn't vote for fires. Oh, but you voted for...
So in case you guys don't know who this guy is, this is Mike Cernovich. I've been following, and he follows me on Twitter. Lives in California, lawyer, Trump supporter, the whole 9 yards. And what he's advocating for is something that's very, very interesting. He's talking about the federal takeover, i.e. Trump, of California. And I'm thinking, wow, that's an interesting ploy. And that ploy meaning, hey, if it's national security, one of the biggest states in the country, one of the biggest economies in the world, if it's being mismanaged so badly, forget Greenland for now. Why don't you just take over California? Not a bad idea.
Karen Bass instead of Caruso, you voted for people who can't keep water in fire hydrants. I know you come to California. We had record floods. The water just poured right into the ocean. No way to capture it. They were going to build all this Green New Deal stuff. They didn't do that. They couldn't build basins. So this is what Democrat supermajority gets us. So that's the case that I'm making for federal takeover of California. I know that Trump is being a little cheeky when he talks about Canada being a 51st state, and I think the reaction that Pierre, the Apple eater, and others have is amusing, but California is a state. Under the Constitution, there's a case to be made that the federal government needs to come in to enforce the civil rights of the people to act in a Reconstruction kind of manner. So I want the Trump administration.
That's very interesting. Making it a civil rights case, which many of the people in California could indeed argue that their civil rights are being impugned because the state is putting them at risk. You're not taking care of the safety, property, the wherewithal of the people you're sworn to protect. You could actually make an argument for that. Gavin Newsom, from a state level, has shown over and over and over that he is mismanaging this state and putting people in peril and wasting their money. The train to nowhere and everything.
And I'm a citizen and resident of California. I want the Trump administration to exercise its constitutional power to come in and fix all the election fraud. They have this authority. Under the 14th Amendment, Section 5. They have the authority to enforce the rights, the civil rights of me, the citizen, which is being deprived by the state government of California, where people can't trust the elections, where somehow these Orange County Republican areas all went Democrat, even though everywhere else was trending for Trump, but somehow Michelle Steele lost her election, even though she didn't run a good race, and I said that to their faces, and they wouldn't listen to me, so I don't know what to tell. Scott Baugh lost his. I don't know. So I am, unironically, this isn't me being cheeky when I'm talking about Canada being a state. I'm goofing off because I know it annoys the Canadians. I'm not joking. I want the federal government under Trump to come in and clean this state up, and they have the constitutional authority to do so.
Interesting to me. I don't live in California, so I've got no dog in this fight. But it's very interesting. And obviously, Mike's a lawyer. He's probably delved into this. California would fight it tooth and nail. But if it makes a little bit of sense, which I believe it does, perhaps Trump goes with it. Maybe this is something that Pam Bondi and Trump can say, you know what? why don't we go ahead and show these people in California how we can fix their state? Because if Trump would be able to get California under the MAGA umbrella, it's all over for Democrats. They're done forever. It's completely done. And now he has an opportunity, because here's what's going to happen. Tomorrow, if not already today, Biden is going to issue a state, whatever you call it, declaration of emergency, whatever, and they're going to seek to give California $1 gazillion. I don't know if they're going to get it out the door in the next 12 days. They certainly won't get out the door everything California is going to need. You're only going to be able to give them a certain amount to get them over a little bit of a hump. As of right now, I haven't checked, it was at 0% contained. So by the time this thing is contained and people can come back to the rubble, you're not going to get that declaration money that you're going to need to help rebuild that entire area. You're going to have to go to Trump. And if that's the case, that's going to be really, really interesting what kind of dance Newsom and Trump are going to have to do. Because he's got the purse strings. California's not going to be able to afford it. So if you've got people on the ground in California already talking about, let's bring the federal government in and basically take over California right now, how many people in California might be okay with that? I just saw while I was looking at Twitter, they just, an X, they just went ahead and ordered an evacuation for Santa Monica. Something like 20,000 people. You got to get out of Santa Monica. It's still burning, still spreading. That to me is a very interesting take. And plus, if California is on fire, where are they going to put all the newcomers? People in Cali need to stop their evil, especially about children. Yep. He gave Ukraine more money, yep, $500 million. What about North Carolina and Helene? Agreed. If he goes voter ID, California is red. Maybe that would be the play. How much you need? It's going to be tough. Here's what we'll do. We'll give it to you. You're going to have to give me voter ID. Whew, I'd love to see that. Can we sell California? Can we give California to Mexico? Trump warned Newsom that it would happen years ago. Yes, he did. Bring election reform to California. You guys are all on it. You're right on it. Absolutely. After this incident, the people will definitely vote red and not vote blue no matter what. I don't know. These people are kind of stubborn. What did North Carolina get as a state? Biden wasn't helping them. I know people in North Carolina are waiting for the 20th as well. I'm sure one of the first few days after the election, that's going to come their way. A lot of stuff coming to happen. So sorry. What? That doesn't make any sense. Keep the $500 billion for Ukraine. Give it to California and North Carolina. Split it. Kamala will save them as the next governor. Okay. All right. So let me see this. Many states have regulations for restricting felons from obtaining or maintaining certain licenses. Yeah, that's something they could probably do to Trump. But the dude's 78 years old. By the time he's out of office, he can retire. So that's not even going to hurt him. How far away is Disneyland from this? Disneyland can't be too far away from it. It's got to be right there as well. Yeah, it's got to be right there. All right, so let me just close things out with this last thing here I wanted to show you. This is Trump with Melania. They went to pay their respects to Jimmy Carter. Very classy. I mean, everything Melania does, she looks classy. And then Trump has some remarks to say. I wish he didn't leave. I wish he could have just walked across the street to the White House and just, we're ready to go to work. That's what we need. Everything about them speaks class to me, and now it's time to get to work. And I hope they really, everything goes safe with the inauguration. And 12 days, baby. 12 days. Can't get here fast enough. Just wanted to end with that. Well, I'm not really ending. Some of you guys may not be interested in this, but I just wanted to show this because as you know, I encourage you to join our X group. And let me see if I can do that. Go over to fanfareshop.org/group, and you can join our X group, which probably by tonight, maybe tomorrow, will be at 13,000 fellow patriots. I can't believe what you guys have done. People say, hey, Barry, why don't you start a membership on on YouTube? I'm like, geez, I'm not going to charge people to join a membership on YouTube where all it does is give you a little sticker and, you got to pay me every single month. Nah, I ain't going to do that. So I decided to do it on X, make it free, where you can actually create your own content, where you can actually interact. And one of the parts about that, and I've been a little remiss in my duties over there, being an admin, is taking a little bit of time to show some of you how to use X. So I'm going to take about 10-15 minutes here. If you want to stay, stay. But somebody posed a question, and let me see if I can pull this up. Kelly Saginski, who's a member over there, said, please, anyone who understands this or can tell me I'm not the only one, help me with a response. I get a lot of unverified followers on here that make me scratch my head. Why? I have no objection to any genuine person following me. What's with all the fake profiles? And she goes on. She goes, I used to get a ton of Keanu Reeves fake people. Unverified accounts are fairly new and have nothing on their profile. How do I know the difference? And the question is, how do I know the difference between good, honest people who don't have verification and happen to appreciate my posts and fakes or bots? And do I care? Are they a danger to me? And is there actually any benefit to me to prefer that follow me? Will my comments get more attention? That's a lot. And, so none of them replies to my posts. And how about the profiles that repost your reply? And by reply, great questions. I have the exact same problem. Anita, how do you handle the issue? So a lot of people are wondering what's going on with so many seemingly bots and things of that nature on X. That's the reason why I created the community. So it's like a safe space. The only people who can basically reply to your stuff are people inside the group. So once you venture outside the group, and obviously she's trying to grow her profile, anybody can follow you. And oftentimes other people who are trying to grow their profile see that you're new and they try to grow as well. Well, two things I want to tell you. If I click on Kelly's profile here, and I come in here, it's a pretty cool picture. It shows that she has 193 followers and she's following 121 people. First thing, don't follow a whole lot of people. Or rather, don't make your ratio that close. Let people follow you. And in order to do that, make good replies and talk to people, who are real people. Don't worry about the bots. That they're going to fall off when they see they're not getting any sort of engagement. So, how do you fix that? Well, one of the ways you fix it, and this is if you are basically a paid member, but you can try to, how can I say it, mimic this on your own. I use a tool on X called, let me see if I can show it here. This is called X Pro. And X Pro allows you to basically, I'm going to have to shrink this down so you can see it. X Pro allows you to create lists and columns of people that you want to follow. So if you're not on X Pro, and you're like, Barry, I'm not going to pay for that, I don't want to pay for it, then the thing you can do is create lists. And by creating a list, you're able to go in here and say, I want to only see posts by these people. And then you can just go into your list. So let me go into my list here, like my list. Okay, hold on. Where are my list? All right. What you can't see is over here. I have to go to more and list. So here are my list. I've got advertising agencies because I used to be in advertising, agencies and studios, my real estate, political reporters, brands, college football. Some of these lists have been here since forever. Fort Lauderdale, e-commerce, all kinds of different things. But down here I have a list called my Trump list. See that? And my Trump list, these are all private, that's why they're locked. And if I click on my Trump list, the only content that you're going to see are from people who I've already curated. And this is free. You can just build a list. You don't have to have X Pro. And I only can see the content from people who I have curated myself. So if you create a list of people, so you're not on the main Twitter, you're in a list. So let's say you want to follow Laura Loomer and Steve Bannon and me and Trump and Charlie Kirk. You're only going to see their post. You are not going to see anybody else's posts other than those people you have in that list, which makes it very easy for you to curate and make sure you're talking or looking at people who happen to be trusted and those you want to engage with. Now, this is just my Trump list. As I showed you, I got a whole bunch of lists here, and you can, like this one's here is my VIPs. This one here, I called it my knock list from the movie. Music. Okay, so what does Barry follow for music? Well, let's look at this. This Barry's got 79 followers. I got Billboard magazine. I got Hypebot, which is a magazine for, most of these are magazine. Billboard again. Billboard posts a lot. Bandcamp, Hypebot, Billboard. So I can see stories about music. Chase Rice, country singer. I only am going to see those people I put in there. And then I can just go ahead and interact with them right there. X Pro allows you to put those lists in columns. So I can have a bunch of different columns open at the same time. But just starting out, you may want to just say, listen, here's my tight list. And I'm just going to, here's like 30 or 40 people that I know that I trust. I only am going to see them. You don't ever have to get out of there. And here's my Trump list. Here's my baseball list. Here's my football list. So if you're not using lists, this is my first helpful thing for you guys right now. If you're not using lists, you're really spitting in the wind. Especially if you don't know who to follow and you're on if you're on your main feed, what happens on the main feed is if you happen to see something and spend a couple of minutes on it, you're going to see more of that stuff. Even if you're like, well, I just wanted to see, what that was about. But if you do a list and you say, not that you'd want to, but if it was CNN, MSNBC, Rachel Maddow, Sean Hannity, you're only going to see their stuff, period. It's a defined box. And so you can basically interact there, do a lot of replies, you can tweet to people, and you never have to move out of your box per se. I hope that makes a little sense. What is the difference between X Pro and X Premium? X Premium is the subscription level. X Pro is the tool inside of X Premium. It used to be called I forget what it was called. What was it called? I forget what it was called before he bought it. But TweetDeck, that's what it used to be called. It used to be called TweetDeck. how do you do a list? Okay, somebody's asking, how do you do a list? All right, so let me go back in here. Let me pull this up. Okay, how do you do a list? Very, very simple. All right, so let me go ahead and move this comment. Move this back over here, and let me go into my list. All right, so if you want to do a list, all you have to do, where is it here? You can't see it, but at the top, see where my mouse is right here? At the very top of the screen, there's a little plus. You can't see it, but there's a right plus, but right here, there's a plus. And if I click this plus, it opens up and it says create new list. So right from here, I can just say test list. Test list 1, completely free. You can describe it and say for demo, and there. And then below this, it says, let me see if I can move this up. Can't move it up, but it says on the bottom, make private. So I would make it private unless you want to share it with some friends. I would just go ahead and make it private. So if I go, once I do that and make it private, I'm done. So I have that list, and here it is, test list. So how do I get people in here? So if I'm home, and let's say I want to add Alex Jones to this list, right here you can see that those 3 dots, and then you get all this stuff here. It says not interested in this post, unfollow Alex Jones, add Alex Jones to a list. So if I click here, it's now going to tell me what list do you want to put Alex Jones on. I want to put him on that list. And now if I go back to the list and show you, let me go to test list. Here it is, and I click in here. Hold on, what happened here? Let me do it again, refresh. Hold on, let me go back home. Crap. Okay, Greg Price. Greg Price is a good guy too. Add, remove Greg from list. I want to add Greg, and I want to add him to this list. He's already in the list. Hit save. Now I should be able to go back into my list, and it should say, where is test? Going to be all the way at the bottom. Test list. Okay, so you can see it now. It says 1 member. So if I click into this list, and I click member, there's Greg Price. That's all it takes. And now, the next time he posts, see it says waiting for posts? It doesn't go back retroactively in here. If you were on X Pro, it would go retroactively. But now in here, the next time he posts, it'll show up. So hopefully that helps if anyone is interested in that. So let me just look and see if anybody had any questions for that. Am I showing as a member? I'll have to check when I get off. Somebody, I'd like to send you a case of Bowberry biscuits. So, I don't know what Bowberry biscuits are. But in any event, hope that helps you guys. I'll if you guys have questions, go ahead and post it in the community, and I'll see if I can't take a time at the end of a show and answer those for you. So just go ahead and join the group if you want. And again, there's almost 13,000 of us in there. Would love to have you guys aboard. And then if you want to win a hoodie, you want to go to fanfareshop.org and just enter your information, and you could win a hoodie. Let me show you how easy it is to win a hoodie. We're going to get that ready here. Let me put this together, and I draw, click the button, do this, pull that screen over. Where is it? All right, so we're ready to give out 3 hoodies. Here we go. We're gonna give away 3 hoodies. Where's my drum roll? Got to get my drum roll. What number was drum roll again? Okay, here we go. All right, number 1. Joseph Sylvia, you've won a free hoodie. Let's go ahead and pick another one. Let's do the drum roll. Make it official. Thomas Horn. Wow, 2 guys. That's interesting. We haven't had two or three guys in a row. And one more. Oh, this was a guy's night. Ronald Ray Reedy. Ronald Ray Reedy. All right, ladies, sorry about that. This was for the guys tonight, I guess. So we got 3 guys who won hoodies tonight. Congratulations. Ashley will get that, reach out to you for your information so we can go ahead and get that shipped out to you. All right, let me do the super chats. Talmadge Coates. Thank you very much. I voted for a jailbird would make a good saying on his shirt. Yeah, I could believe that. I'd buy that. Beverly Litton, I need a link to that Santa Monica info about evacuation. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can't pull it up for you. I don't know where the link to it is, but hold on. Where is it? Okay, here we go. Let me just pull this up real quick. Nick Sortor, who I trust as a good source, just posted this a second ago, or not a second ago. 293,000 people are under mandatory evacuation, and a new evacuation order just came in for the Santa Monica area. Over 400,000 are without power, and the fires are still 0% contained. So if you want more information about what's going on in Santa Monica, I would just go ahead and put Santa Monica evacuation into X, and you're probably going to see a whole bunch of. Let me make sure that's the exact search I'm using. I put in Santa Monica evacuation, and it came right up. Here it is right here. Santa Monica, evacuate immediately. The city of Santa Monica mandatory evacuation order for all areas north of Montana Avenue from the beach to 11th Street due to the fire. So that entire area, if you're in Santa Monica, go ahead and take cover. Do what you need to do. Again, that's from north of Montana Avenue from the beach to 11th Street is now under mandatory evacuation order. Pray for you if you're in that area. That's really that's got to suck. Tommy, how you do? Which one is better, Plus X or Premium X? Number one, you don't have to start with a paid subscription if you don't want to, but Premium X is better. The conspiracy, Edwin Mendez, the conspiracy in me feels like Governor Newsom and his cronies figured out how to get rid of their LA homeless problem. Really? Didn't think about that. Hey, Tommy, Trump won't ban anything. He will just, Trump is us. Yeah, I believe that. Demon of Cybertron, ban every time you say that Biden is banning something, replace Biden with puppet masters, because we know Biden isn't. After seeing him at that press conference today talking about my great granddaughter, yeah, I realize that he's basically waiting for his next bowl of ice cream. Travel Buzz, the amount of people rejoicing in California going through torture is horrific. No one in this state wanted this, and most didn't vote for it. Our elections are broken. Agreed. Larry 1754. Next, he will ban alcohol. Yeah, good luck with that. Not with Nancy Pelosi still there. Planet Fatness. If Trump takes over California, what's to stop a Dem president to do the same to Texas or Florida? It would have to have the same kind of problem, which maybe in a hurricane they could try to do. Don't know, but it needs to happen. PL, H&W, one thing I know for certain. Ooh, wow, they're showing something on television that's just too much. Who's this? PHLRW. One thing I know for certain, none of that money ever goes to Ukraine. I just want to show this to you. Look at this. Look at this television. What's going on? Everything's just burning. That's Pacific Palisades. Good Lord. Look at that. Oh my God. Ugh. This is in the Hollywood Hills. Now the Hollywood Hills is on fire. Let's take a second and listen. Hollywood Hills is going up now? Oh my goodness.
They seem totally, completely, utterly unprepared. In fact, the city's mayor, Karen Bass, was absolutely nowhere to be found as the crisis was unfolding. She was in Ghana and took quite a lot of time to get back to L.A. When she did arrive, Mayor Bass had no...
These pictures that to the right of Sean are live. Hollywood Hills is now burning. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Still 0% contained. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Man, I feel bad for these people in California. Doge audit from KRO, Doge audit of failed California government. People versus Alphonse Capone style. Yeah. Man, that's scary. That is really scary. If something comes up again, I'll put it on while we're sitting here. Crazy. Crazy. Randy, how you doing? Very, very, very disappointed at some of the comments in here about us here in California. Not for me, Randy. I bless you. I bless you, brother. Anybody going through what you must be going through out there, I completely bless you. Nobody deserves this. Planet Hermit, prohibition didn't work for alcohol. It won't work for tobacco. No, it won't work. Oh, look at these pictures. Good gosh. It looks like hell. It literally looks like hell. No, but no, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what your political affiliation is. You don't deserve that. And you would expect that maybe your government would be there to help you. I'm going to leave this up while I go through the super chat so you guys can see it. Irene Brown, thank you very much. Let me move down here. Lucy O'Connor, thank you very much. Linda Thornburg, God will bring something good out of this. His faithful prayers for those who are hurting. Can you imagine? This is probably going to be worse than Maui. Tommy Radcliffe, born and raised in Lake Tahoe and Santa Barbara. My home was destroyed by Newsom, and the fires were bad, but handled well. I've been through 2. Wow. Absolutely. That's crazy. I've never seen anything like that. We've had fires here in Florida, Central Florida, where we used to live. We saw them. But I've never seen anything like that. I mean, an entire mountain. Kathleen Gray, thank you very much. Lucy O'Connor, thank you. KRO Gallon, Galatians 5:13. For you, brethren, have been called to liberty. Only do not use liberty as an opportunity for the flesh, but through love serve one another. Thank you. Laura Gray, many of us in California did not vote for this. They keep winning because they're cheating. I completely believe you. Yeah, Santa Monica. This is what we talked about earlier, so I'm going to flip there. Randy, brother, I didn't know you were in California. Even back late 80s, I had to score a 98 on my oral exam to get hired when others were hired with a 75 immediately with LAPD. Crazy. DEI. Trey Reed, Cali fires because they refuse to tend brush down trees, fire breaks, etc. It's the government's fault. Wow. Jose Brazil, but yet we send money to one country over there and support newcomers. Something is really wrong. Yeah, America. This is where America First really should come in. Oh, look at these pictures. Good gosh. We all die the same. Be kind. Absolutely. Jose Brazil, again, glad to see you back. Unfortunately, these people will vote the same way again. Sadly, all this is happening for a reason, to expose incompetence. It's exposing it all right. Excuse me. Excuse me. Somebody asked, Barry, I want to donate it to Samaritan's Purse and stipulate for Americans in need. They won't let you choose any longer. All money goes to the pot to be distributed worldwide. I'll look into that before tomorrow, okay? Wow. Les, V5, thank you, Barry. Thank you for all you do. I'm happy you're feeling better. Yep, much better. Thank you very much. Lynn Goldmeyer, it isn't about money. It's about humans helping humans. We all put our blue jeans on one leg at a time. Nobody is spared in a crisis. You are so right. A lot of people don't think about this, Ruth. Please pray for all the living creatures in the California fire. I saw a man today who got out of his car by the side of a burning road and was trying to rescue a rabbit. And the rabbit was so freaked out it was running around. It ran into the fire and he went like this, and then it came out. And it was such a great picture of this man saving a rabbit. Lots of animals gonna pass. Wow, crazy. Felix Ramirez, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. California with blessings. Please bless them. Absolutely. Dash Unlover, thank you very much, Barry. Please give this to Samaritan's Purse. Will do. I will contact them first thing in the morning to see what they're going to be doing. Claire Butterfield, thank you, Barry. Thank you. Dub says, thank you. Sounds like a Samaritan Purse run. Amen. Yep, if we got to do it, we're going to do it. Henry Schrader, wonder if I just showed you that. Wow, they're playing the same news I did. That's pretty interesting. I wonder if they're going to get $750 from FEMA like the people in North Carolina. What an insult, huh? $750. Crazy. Let me see here. Rick Moore. Where is the great Gavin Newsom? Not a word. How about him? All of them. Swalwell, Pelosi, Adam Schiff. All of them be ashamed of themselves. Newsom could have been paying the homeless to clean up the forest, which in turn would have helped everyone. Good point. Very good point. This isn't going to end well. It's going to go on for quite some time, too. I keep switching back when he's not. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, my God. That's incredible. God, pray for the safety of these people working in the first responders. Imagine flying a helicopter through that smoke. That deep, dark smoke. Sorry, I didn't mean to stop, but it's just. I wonder what if they're looking for signs of life or something. I don't know. Why is he? Wow, that's crazy. All right, so let me continue. Wow. Patty, thank you very much. Myrna Nacino, heartbreaking. Oh my God, praying for all these victims. Look at that. See right there. There's no politics there. Oh, it doesn't matter if you're Republican, Democrat. That's someone's life going up in smoke. Ken Hollis, California, wasn't like this when Reagan was governor. My prayers to the people. You're so right. Thank you, Genesis. Thank you, Maria. FYI, N95 masks do not protect anyone from smoke inhalation. That's true. Wow. Look at that. That's probably a multi-million-dollar home. Doesn't matter. Nowhere to go. Tommy Radcliffe says this looks like a biblical fire. All the Hollywood stars are burning. Looks like Armageddon. They need our prayers, man. I voted for a jailbird would make a good saying on a shirt. I think I did that one. Yeah, that was the last one. I've never seen pictures like this. I could see the flames from outside my house. Wow. This is horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Here, let me see if we can listen to what this guy's saying.
Was 3.5 years ago. This is an ongoing issue, and Newsom likes to say it's now year-round because he wants to talk about...
I thought the guy on the street was talking. Yeah, this is horrible. Well, it's unbelievable and preventable. It sure is. This is bad. I mean, yeah, nobody deserves this. And, I just pray that these people can come out of this, and whenever the end is, because this is just awful. Man, extremely awful. Susan Donahue, thank you very much. Where'd that go? Thank you very much for Samaritan's Purse. Yeah, I'll contact them tomorrow. I'll see Ashley. We'll see if we can get them back on and interview what they're going to be doing out there as well. Wow. All right. I just want to scream, who is this man? Yeah. The fire is crazy. I got no words for it. I'll be up all night just staring at this stuff. Cannot believe it. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Pray for these people out in California. It doesn't matter what political affiliation they are. Doesn't matter what political we're basically Trump supporters here. But as I've been saying last couple of days, this is your opportunity. Obviously, you can pray for people, but reach out to them. Let them know they're not alone. There's not much we can do. And some of these people are probably extremely rich, but you can't buy compassion. You can't buy faith. You can't buy the feelings that these people are. You saw James Woods. Even though he is MAGA and he is a Trump supporter, unbelievable. Bless you. And if you're in California, Randy, some of you guys, bless you. May God protect you and watch over you. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. But please pray for them, and please be compassionate to some of these people. Talk to you soon.